How's it going, and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this video I'm going to be talking about this. This is the Electric Vibe from OPFX. It is a all analog Univibe pedal. But before I do get into this, I'll ask you to please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can keep up to date every time I put out a new video. So, the Electric Vibe from OPFX. So, before I get into this, I'm just going to talk a little bit about OPFX. I think I'm going to make a whole episode about OPFX. Part of my philosophy as a guitar player is I don't really play blues or heavy rock or anything like that. I play alternative music, and in the gear that I buy, I'm always looking for either functionality that really helps me because I'm a good singer and guitar player, and I'm the only guitar player in my band. I'll post a link to my band up here. We're called Kampala. We're like an alternative three-piece, so I'm the only guitar player. I have a lot of ground to cover, so I have two roles there. One, I need to bring a lot of sonic interest to what we do, and so pedals like this are amazing. But secondly, I need functionality that allows me to perform, change lots of things with one switch and stuff like this. And this has remote operation, which if I use it as part of its pedal switching system is amazing. And the reason I say this is, so my philosophy is around functionality and then interesting sound. And I think a lot of boutique pedal manufacturers out there make their version of a Clon, or their version of a Tube Screamer, or their version of a faux, or their version of a Memory Man, or their version of a Boss C1 or whatever, right? They kind of remake famous pedals in smaller new formats with usable power supplies and stuff like that. And I think that's great, and there's a huge market for it, and there's a craze about what is the best Clon and what is the best Tube Screamer and all this kind of thing. None of that really interests me. Getting the must-have pedal is not really what I'm about. I'm about using guitar effects to create sonic interest in the music that I make, and that's where Omar is just, I think, one of the pedal brands I've come across that's really leading the way. He makes really, really unusual pedals. So I've demoed the V1 before, which was Omar's take. Omar, by the way, is he's an Italian. I think he might be living in the Netherlands. I'm not sure about that, but he makes all these pedals, and he's really amazing at what he does. And I think what he does is he thinks of things that other people aren't doing. And as I said, I got the V1, which was his kind of multi-effects unit in a stomp box, and it was really, really impressive. And he has a guitar synth. He has this thing called the Dig Deep, which tracks your lower strings and doubles it with an octave. He has a pedal that plays a sustained chord underneath everything that you play. He has a chorus, he has a vibrato, and he has this really amazing synth pedal, which is called, I think, the V0, which, if you go watch a demo of it online, in fact I'll post a demo of that up here, amazing stuff to be able to do with the guitar. So about this, he sent this out to me. He contacted me a while back and asked me, this is his newest pedal, and asked me would I like to demo this pedal. And to be honest with you, vibes are not really my thing. I've never really been particularly interested in the sound of a vibe. I think, that they've not been massively used by the bands that I came up on, so I never really was particularly into them. But I watched Jay Leonard Jay's demo of this pedal and I was blown away. It just sounds amazing. So I said, yeah, I'd love the opportunity to demo it. And I gotta say, I plugged it in yesterday for the first time. It's the best sounding single stomp box pedal I've played in about a year. It's really, really inspirational. Sounds absolutely amazing. And before I get into talking about the functionality and the sound of it, we should take a listen to it in the context of a track. So here's a track by my band, and it's called Don't Look Down, and it's got this guitar riff that's like the central point to it, and I was using a harmonic tremolo off the HX effects to do this, but this just sounds 100 times better, so take a listen. So there you go. I think that really shows how certain pedals can take certain guitar parts and just really like dose them in personality, and I think this really does that. So what is it? It's actually called a phaser, but really it's a Univibe. I think a Univibe is a form of phaser. By the way, I'm not in any way au fait or interested in being au fait with the engineering behind guitar effects. I like looking at their functionality and how they sound. How the engineering folk make them be able to do that, I don't care. I'm no interest in that. So this is a light bulb style, which I think is a proper way you do a Univibe pedal. And it's got pretty standard controls, right? It's got a level, which means it has a preamp in it, so you can use it to goose the front end of your amp and get more gain when you turn this pedal on, which is really useful. And then it's got a speed and a depth control. The speed control obviously controls the speed. The depth control controls the like how pronounced the modulation is. It's got a switch over here that changes it from no dry signal to dry signal blended in. And when it's no dry signal, it kind of sounds like a vibrato. It's got 3 different waveforms. It's got sine, triangle, and square waveforms. They all sound quite different. And then it's got this envelope function over here, and it was Jane Leonard J's demo of this envelope function that made me get really excited about this pedal. So what that does is it controls the speed and the depth of the Univibe sound with the strength of your playing. And in that way, this pedal is just phenomenal. It's so expressive. It can give such unbelievable personality to parts. And yeah, it just sounds like it's just an amazing pedal to play. I'll get into the audio demo now in a sec, but before I do, the other functionality is it's got this switch here, which changes the way that the ramp goes in the when you're using that velocity sensitive control, so we can either make it speed up or slow down. It's got this other, you hold this and you get into the secondary functions of the EQ knobs to control how quickly it returns after it ramps either up or down to the original speed, and also the intensity, how intensely it follows how hard you dig in, so the sensitivity basically of the envelope. It's got in and out, 9-volt power jack, it takes like 112 milliamps, and then it's got this external switch here which allows you to either plug in an expression pedal to control speed, plug in a single foot switch to do tap tempo, or a double foot switch to do remote bypass and tap tempo, I think. Yeah, so there you go. Let's have a listen to it, I guess. So here you go. Okay, as always, to demo the pedal, I'll be playing through the Contextual Tone 20 head. I'm going out of my guitar, which in this case is this Yamaha Revstar with P90s. Out of the guitar, into the Electric Vibe, and then from the Electric Vibe straight into the dirty channel of the amplifier. So with the volume on full on the guitar, it's into this. And then if I can clean it up by rolling on. And then full volume. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do first is to show the Electric Vibe in its simplest form, right, which is just basically a 3-knob vibe pedal. One knob, so you can see here the first knob is leveled, as I mentioned before, the second knob is speed, and the third knob is depth. So, okay, starting off, this is what it sounds like. Okay, so if I increase the depth, it'll change. It has a kind of a tremolo feel there. It'll change more into sort of a vibe feel. If I move the depth back a little bit, kind of takes on this sort of harmonic tremolo kind of. So then I can increase the speed. Okay, I can increase the depth. Gets into kind of crazy territory now. As you can see, it's still so lush and juicy, like. I mean, it's at these settings it has a real traditional vibe sort of sound to me. Like I said, I never really liked vibe pedals, but I just love this. Gorgeous. Interesting to note as well that if I turn this off, this level knob has the capacity to drive the front end of your amp. Or reduce it in volume. So there's a preamp in it, which is great. Fantastic sounding pedal. Then, okay, I'm going to go through the other. I'll talk about this switch, which changes it between a vibrato and a phaser, effectively, in a second, right? But if I go into the different wave shapes, so that's the sine wave. Interestingly, I don't know why this is, but with the sine wave, it only employs the effect when you play. You can see the light flashing. When I stop, the light stops. Where I think now, if I put it into the middle setting, I don't know what the three waves are called. One sine wave, I don't know what the other two are. Yeah, the light keeps going constant. One square wave and one's triangle wave. Sine wave, triangle wave, square wave. But as you'll notice, I don't know why this is, but when I put it back into sine wave, the light stops if I'm not playing. Still there a little bit. Okay, and then, so that's the triangle wave. It's a little bit smoother, and then you get into square wave. I like that a lot. Great sounding vibe. Okay, so then the other thing I'm going to do is just get into the other setting. So you can see there, in either of those wave settings, it's just a delicious sounding vibe pedal. It's just so expressive. That's before I even get into the envelope controls. I really love this pedal. Right, so then if I go down into this, hit the switch down into the dry off position, it becomes sort of a vibrato pedal. What this is brilliant for is if I increase the speed, maybe reduce the depth slightly. Let's go to the neck pickup, turn down the volume a little bit. Ha, if I played it right. Maybe turn on the filter. And then it did, so you can see it does that thing, that vibrato thing really well. kind of faux rotary, right? Really, really great. You can make that more pronounced and slow it down to get a really dramatic vibrato thing. It's kind of like that broken record feeling. I mean, really, this is the only modulation pedal you'd really need, I think. So there's covering off, right, what the vibe sounds like, the speed and depth controls, and then what this vibrato sounds like. It's just class. Okay, so putting it back to the vibe setting, which is actually a phaser setting, bringing the depth back, I'm going to talk about the envelope controls, right, and why they're so great. So what these two switches here are is they turn on the envelope control of the speed and the depth, right? So if I put this up now, what will happen is the speed of the vibe will change depending on how hard I hit the guitar. Which just gives us an unbelievably expressionate playing experience. So it really, really works brilliantly, and I could just easily, quickly bend over, flip that down, and I've got a sort of a rotary speed thing going on. So that's an example of the speeding up and slowing down of the speed depending on playing dynamics. Very The Bends by Radiohead. That would be with a tremolo. Okay, so then the other thing is I'll turn that off and I'll turn on the control of the depth. I have found this harder to make work, right? So yeah, you can hear it there. If I hit lightly, I'm just going to turn the volume down. Depth is low, but if I hit hard, it gets more pronounced. So I'm going to turn the depth up to see if that helps. Okay, so I'm not so sure about the depth of that. I'm understanding how to control it correctly, but also very important to note, right, that the way you control those two elements, right, is, so I'm going to demonstrate this with the speed, but it works with the depth as well. So I'm going to activate again the variable speed thing. If I hold down this switch in the middle, first of all, I hit that switch. Instead of going from slow to fast, it goes from fast to slow. So it reverses. It takes the fastest point and makes it faster instead of taking the fastest point and making it slower. Right? If I hold down this switch, it turns to red, the LED here, which again, just a brilliant little touch by Omar that you know what you're doing. There's no like holding knobs with one finger and twisting knobs with another one. You enter into an edit mode. You can control the decay, which is the time it takes to go from one speed to the other with this If I put this up high, it should change really quickly. Sorry, it changes slower. If I put it low, it should change. Sorry, at the low end of the knob, the speed changes slower, and the higher I put it, the quicker the speed changes. Okay, that's what that knob does. And in this edit mode, this knob controls how much it speeds up and slows down. Depending on how hard I hit it. So that's the sensitivity of the envelope, okay? I like it up about here. Right there, right? So I switch it back from edit mode back into play mode. And that kind of shows you what it sounds like. Okay, I've now affected the sensitivity so much. I'll just have to put the depth back up, that's all. So as you can see, an amazingly expressionate vibe pedal, which can really take a really basic part. So let me just show you this part in that song that I a part in that song that I demoed at the beginning of this video, which without the vibe sounds like this. But with the vibe, so you can hear the speed slowing up and slowing down and speeding up and stuff, and just takes that part and makes it just so much more interesting to listen to. So this is definitely going on my pedal board. I have a Line 6 M5 on my pedal board already that does all this kind of thing, but this analog modulation, wow. So there you go. If you're looking for a Univibe pedal, just don't buy another one, just buy this. This is phenomenal. It's €180, which I think is really, really good value for this pedal. It's just really its own thing. It's got that super analog chewiness. I was using the harmonic tremolo and the Univibe before off my HXFX, and they're really good. The HXFX is an amazing unit. This, because it's analog, I think because it's analog, and also because Omar really knows what he's doing, this sounds 100 times better, feels 100 times better, plays 100 times better. It's just an amazing pedal. Like I said, I'm not even into Univibes, and even in general, my modulation always comes from multi-effects. Modulation, delay, reverb, always from multi-effects. This is amazing. This is going on my main studio board. So if you're looking for a Univibe, just buy this one. You're not going to get any better. It just sounds amazing. And if you're looking to do, as I said, vibrato, if you're looking to do kind of a slow phaser thing as well, it'll do that really well. And even sort of, it kind of lives in harmonic tremolo land too. Just amazing. So thanks Omar for sending this out. It's blown me away. And I'll stick Omar's website in the description down below, and go check out his stuff. He has, as I mentioned before, he has some absolutely phenomenal different pedals that you should check out. And if you have any questions, stick them in the comment section below. And if you've gotten this far, I thank you for watching this far. And if you have and you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I guess that's it. I shall see you in another video again soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.